Assalamu alaikum, distinguished students. Mr. Ad is back again with another lesson in Sarai 12, which is called 2, 2 and enough 2. This one is in Unit 2, Lesson 4, okay? Unit 2, Lesson 4. Okay? Students find it very confusing and very challenging to understand, but hopefully we'll make it a piece of cake today for you. Let's take a look together and let's see how it works and how it's put in a sentence. So first of all, let's start with 2. 2 is used differently. We have different cases when it comes to using 2. The first one, we can use 2 with adjective. 2 plus adjective. Okay? We can use 2 plus adjective. The second one, the second rule, we can use there. Okay, when we have the word there here, we use too much and too many. Okay, too much and too many. Okay, this is the rule number 2. Rule number 3, when we use 2, when we have and has. Okay, have and has. So for example, have or has. Even had. Okay, so when we have verb to do, we use it too much and too many. Let's take a look. Too much, too many. Okay, take notes well, because I'll go through details later on. Right now, the most important thing is when it comes to this one, the word too, 2 has excessive meaning. When you say 2, you mean more than enough, more than something. So for example, when you say it's too cold, that means it's more than what it should be, let's say. So 2 always has a negative meaning when you say 2, okay? And 2 is a hero in a sentence. 2 is a hero, don't forget. 2 is a hero. What do you mean by hero? 2 always comes first. 2 always comes first in a sentence. Look at here. When we have, too much and too many, 2 is first. Too much and too many, 2 is first. 2 plus adjective, 2 is first. 2 is always first. 2 is what? A hero in a sentence. Don't forget it, okay? 2 is a hero in a sentence, always comes at the beginning of a word, okay, at the beginning. So it doesn't go after much and many. It doesn't go after adjective. Never goes after adjective. This is number 1. 2 is a hero. Number 2, 2 is always positive. 2 is always positive, okay? It has a negative meaning, but it's positive, okay? The sentence is positive, but it has a negative meaning, okay? Pragmatically, if you think about it pragmatically, it has a negative meaning, but it's always positive and is a hero in a sentence. That means comes at the beginning all the time, okay? This is how we use 2, okay? Let's see, and let's put it into different examples using 2. All right. 2, we said we use it with adjectives, okay? But we use it with verb be, like subject plus verb be. We have all the verb be's, like is, are, was, and were. And even will be, or be, let's say. When we have these, okay, when we have these, we use 2. When we have these, we use 2. 2 plus adjective. Okay, this is rule number 1. To put it into different examples, this is rule number 1. Subject 2 plus adjective. Rule number 2, we said, if you remember, we just said when we have there. We said when we have there, also, don't forget, again we have there is, there are, there were, there was, okay? There will be, okay? So we use the verb be family here, okay? And since we have there here, Don't forget it that we use too as well. Too much and too many. Don't forget this. We use it what? Too much and too many. Whenever we have too, whenever we have there and have and has or had, when we have verb to do or verb to have, or there, we use too much and too many, okay? Otherwise, we use too. Just too, okay? Too is always used with adjective, and too much and too many is used with noun, okay? It's very important to know this. Take a look. Too much and too many used with noun. And we have two types of noun. We'll get to that in a moment. This one is used with non-count nouns, non-count nouns or uncountable nouns. This one is used with countable ones. We will get to that in a moment, okay? Just be with me. So don't forget, when we have there, we have too much and too many, then plus noun, okay? Another rule, which we just talked about, we said, another rule, and the rule is what? We said have and has. So subject plus have, has, or had. When you have, has, had, and subject, we use what? We said too much and too many. We use what? Too much, too many. Don't forget, again, it's followed by noun. And we said we have two types of noun. We have plural noun and singular noun, okay? We have plural and singular. Let's see and let's put into different examples to understand. This is the rule. The rule is pretty simple when it comes to two. First of all, when we have is, are, was, and were, when you have verb be and subject, it's always with two adjectives, just two, not too much. When do we have too much? Take this note. Take this note. We have too much and too many when we have the word there, or when we have verb to have, had, or has, okay? In this case, we use what? Too much or too many. Take this note, please. In this case, we use too much and too many, okay? Let's see. Let's put it into an example, or some examples, let's say. Sorry. So, for example, she is too young, okay? This is one example. There are too many young people. Another rule, we have three rules we said. She has too many friends, young friends, let's say. You can also use too much. She has too much work. She has too much work. Okay. Look at here. She is too young. Okay? She is too young. Why do we use too, not too much? Because we said if we don't have there or have and has, it's too. Okay? Don't forget it. There are too many young people. Why did we use too many? Because we have there. And why is it many? Because people is countable. We will talk about countable in a minute. Be with me. Take notes while the lesson is being explained, okay? Number 3, she has too many friends. She has too many friends. Why do we say too many? We have S. You can take this one as an example. Whenever we have S, not all the time, but we have different cases as well. We have exceptions in English, but most of the time, when the noun has S, it's always too many, not too much, okay? Take this note. And she has too much work. Work is uncountable, so we say too much, okay? This is how we use it. Let's see. Let's come back to this one, this point. This one, yes. Or let's write down something new here. We said two, and enough to. We'll be still talking about two. Look, we say two, okay? Don't forget. The rule is like this. We were writing the rules in a minute. So look, we said subject plus verb be, family, is, are, was, were, plus to plus adjective. Let's write down the rule again, real quick. I need it for one thing. There, we said when we have there, we have too much and too many, right? There, verb be, don't forget, they have verb be as well. So we have too much, too many. Okay? We have too much and too many, plus noun, we said, right? Number three, the rule number three, don't forget this one as well. Rule number three, if we have has, had, subject, plus have, has, had, we said again we use too much and too many, right? So we say too much, too many. Okay, too much and too many, plus what? Noun, of course. You know why I wrote all of them again? The reason is, be careful. They're all followed by to base. If it's not to base, it would be wrong, okay? What do you mean by base? Let's see if you remember, because previous lesson we talked about this. Base is no ed, no ing, no s, no past. So the verb itself without any prefixes or suffixes, okay? So we said subject, have, has. We said they are always, and all of them is followed by to base. We said what's base? No ed, no ing, no past. So they're all followed by base. That's why it's called to plus base, okay? This is all about to. Don't forget the two very important notes regarding to, the tips. The first tip, to is a hero. What do you mean by hero? Comes at the beginning. You see? It comes before, okay? Comes before, not after. To is a hero. To is always positive, although has a negative meaning. It has a negative meaning, but the sentence is always positive, okay? Don't forget this. Thank you. Well done. Okay, let's come to enough, okay? How we use enough. First of all, enough is enough negative, has to be negative, okay? The first rule, enough has to be negative. We don't have enough in positive form. This is the first rule. The second rule, enough could be used interchangeably. When we have adjective, could be used in a different place. When we have noun, could be used in a different place. But I'll give you a simple trick to know that, okay? So the trick is, if we have enough, an adjective, okay, if we have enough adjective, how do you know which one comes first? Look, you can use alphabetical order. Alphabetical order. A, adjective, alphabetically comes first, comes before E, right? So it's A, B, C, D, E, right? Which one comes first? A, of course. Then E, right? So you can use this idea to know which one is preceded by or which one is followed by. So it is, with adjective, it's adjective, then enough. Okay? The rule, it's adjective, then enough. The same rule for noun, let's use it. Noun, enough. Again, use alphabetical order. If we have noun, this one comes first in alphabetical order or this one? E comes first. This letter E comes first. A, B, C, D, E. So E comes first, then N comes. So that means enough, always preceded by noun, enough, always followed by adjective. Preceded by, it's before enough, preceded by enough. This noun is preceded by enough, and this enough is preceded by adjective. This is how it means. Okay, we said use alphabetical order. A always comes first, then enough, E. So A, adjective and enough and noun. This is the rule for enough. And we said enough has a negative meaning, right? We said has a negative meaning. By the way, the same rule applies for two. The same rule applies for two. So for example, let's say we said, if you remember, we said subject plus is are, right? Is are for two. If you remember, we said this. Were, was, even, will, be. We have these, right? We said the same rule applies for enough, but one thing is different. Since it is enough, we need not. Don't forget. Isn't, I am not. Aren't, weren't, wasn't, will not, or won't. You can say won't, you can say will not. Okay? All right. So we said we use it with adjective. Okay? Enough. So we say adjective plus enough. Why? Use alphabetical order. A comes before E. Okay? Rule number two. Rule number two for enough. We said if we have there. Okay? There. So since we have there here, is, are, was, were. But we don't have there, do we? No, we don't have it. So when we have these, again, we need not. Okay? We need not. Don't forget, we need not. There isn't. Okay? So when we said we use it with noun like this, there isn't. So enough plus noun. How? Use alphabetical order. E always comes before N. So enough plus noun. Okay? There isn't enough and something. The same rule as we said. The same rule. No changing. The same rule. Have and has. Subject plus have, has, had. Here it gets a little bit tricky, a little bit challenging. Have, has, had. When you change it to negative, we can change it to negative in two different cases. Since we are talking about enough, we're talking about enough, right? So we need negative. If we have, look, have, has, had, it must be didn't have, didn't, sorry, just a minute. Let me use different color. Have, has, had, we use it like this. Look at here. Have and has. So have, don't have. Had, didn't have. Had, has, sorry, it must be has this one. Doesn't have, okay? So it could be changed in two different ways when it comes to have and has. Have, has, had, this one is has, okay, has. It could be changed to negative in two different ways. If we have, the word have, it would be don't have. Had, didn't have, not didn't had. We don't have didn't had in English. And then has, doesn't have, okay? We use doesn't have. So we use it this way. But sometimes, maybe there would be another case which is called have got and has got, okay? If we have got, has got, it would be, the negative form would be haven't got, be careful, haven't got, and hasn't got. If we have this case, in case we have it, I don't know. So have and has and had, we negatified with don't, didn't, doesn't. But have got or has got, we change it to haven't got, hasn't got. This is all about to and enough, okay? This is all about it. Let's put it into practice. Let's see if we can do some Zhyar questions together, okay? But before the Zhyar questions, let me remind you two things regarding enough and to. First of all, to, don't forget, to is a hero. What do you mean hero? Comes first. Comes first. To has to be positive. It has a negative meaning, but the sentence has to be positive. Enough. Take this note, please. Enough. Look. Adjective plus enough. Don't forget. But noun. Enough plus noun. Okay? I said you can use the trick, and the trick says what? Alphabetical order. E comes before N, A comes before E, like this. You can use alphabetical order. Enough, always negative. Negative. Enough always has a negative meaning. And, don't forget one more thing. When we have there, or have, has, had with enough, when they are together, they will be hero. When they are together, all together, they will be hero. So enough comes first. When enough is not with there and have and has, when it's not with there and have and has, enough is not hero. Okay? Enough goes after. Let's see. Let's take a look at some examples. We have some examples. But before the examples, let's talk about countable and non-countable nouns. We said too much and too many, right? Too many, too much. Real quick, be with me. Too many, most of the cases we have S. So when we have S, it's too many, most of the cases. We have different cases, like child becomes children. Without S, we use too many. So we say too many children. Too many children. We say, for example, person becomes people. We say too many people. Okay? Man becomes men. Too many men. Women becomes too many women, okay? But too much is different. All types of liquid, we use too much. Too much water, too much coffee, too much tea, too much juice, liquids, okay? We have some exceptions. Time, too much time. Time is uncountable. Money, too much money. Okay? We have exceptions in English. Let's take a look. We have some exceptions. So, liquids are all what we said? Liquids are uncountable nouns, so we use too much. Too much milk, too much coffee, too much lemonade. Okay? We have some small ones like sugar, salt, flour, butter, dust, rust, meat, cheese. These are all uncountable nouns, so we use much. How do you know it's uncountable noun? It's not possible to add S, plural S. That's why it's uncountable noun. We have some irregular ones. Time, furniture, too much homework, too much information, too much meat, too much luggage, too much advice, too much news. Although this one has S, be careful, but it's uncountable. Too much news. There is too much news today. Luck, beauty, energy. Okay? Let's take a look of some wizardry questions together, okay? The first one, you do it. Use the trick. Don't forget the trick. The trick is very important. The trick says, let's take a look. We leave the airport tomorrow. Do we have verb be here? Is, are, was, were? No. So, if we have any too much and too many, wrong. Do we use too much and too many? No. We don't use too much and too many. Too much and too many, we said, when we have there or have and has. Do we have any of those? There and have and has? Can you see any? So if there's no there and have and has, drop it. Okay, this is number one. Number two, we have we were not, will not be. So let's see. Here we have, we neither have, like verb to have, and also, what else we don't have? There. So since we don't have this, we said enough is not a hero when they are not together. When we have and has and there, enough is a hero. So, means comes first. That means it's not this one. Enough, not a hero. We said when they have their brothers together, have and has and there, it would be together. So this one would be wrong. Okay. Don't forget we said we use to base for all of them. To base. To leave. So which one is correct? Will not be. This one is also wrong, right? Will not be enough ready or ready enough. This one is wrong, sorry. This one is correct. Why this one is wrong? Because there is no to. Otherwise, everything is correct. But there is no to. So if there is no to, it's wrong. We said the rule has to be like this. To, enough. Sorry. Let me use another color so that you are aware what we mean here. Look at here. The rule is like this. To. Enough, not enough, to. Not enough. Okay, enough. It's followed by base, this two. It's followed by base. Don't forget, it's followed by base. So leave is a base, that's why. Very good. So the first one is like this. Let's see the second one. Okay, can you do it? I'd like you to do it. The suitcase to get all his clothes in. This suitcase to get all his clothes in. Okay, which one do you think is the correct answer? Yes? Which one do you think is the correct answer? Let's see. Let's see. Which one is completely wrong? Hasn't enough. Wrong. Why, Mr. Riyad? Do we say hasn't? No, we say doesn't have enough, right? Either doesn't have or hasn't got. Wrong. Okay. Wasn't suitable, are suitable. Look at here. Look at here, these two. Okay. Too suitable. Do we use too suitable here? Let's see if you can use it. Wasn't suitable enough. Since we use it in a negative form, so we don't use positive. We say wasn't suitable enough. The suitcase wasn't suitable enough, depends on the meaning here as well, to get all his clothes in. Okay. The other one. His English isn't be a translator. His English isn't. Do we have there or have and has? We don't have there and have and has. So what's this? Okay. We said, okay. This number one. Do we have negative here? Do we use to? No, never. Okay. Had to. What do you mean by had to? here. Wrong. Why? Because it has to be didn't have to if it was negative. Because we said we changed to negative. So these two, which one is correct? Okay. If you don't have there and have and has, both of them, enough is not a hero. Enough is not at the beginning. Okay? Enough is not at the beginning. So you say, his English is not good enough to be a translator. Enough good, is it correct? No. Why? Because we don't have the two as well. And also they are not correctly ordered. Okay? Number 4. Big cities are for the new coming people. Let's see. Are for the new coming people. First of all, not enough difficult to live. Big cities, not enough difficult to live. Since we have verb be and it's positive, this is positive, right? Not have enough. Do we have not have enough? We say didn't have, or don't have, or doesn't have, right? So this one is wrong. Too difficult to lived. Do you think this one is correct? To lived. No, we said we use base. So now what do we have? These two. These two. Look, too difficult to live, not enough difficult to live. This one difficult is adjective. We said adjective starts with a, so comes before enough, right? Not enough difficult or not difficult enough. So this is also wrong. The correct answer would be big cities are too difficult to live for new coming people. Okay. Number 5. Number 5. My friends aren't passed all the tests. Let's see. Since it's negative, drop the 2. It's negative. We don't need to. Okay. Do we have there, have and has? Since we don't have there and have and has, so enough doesn't come at the beginning, comes at the end. Enough intelligent? Wrong. We said enough is not hero right now because there is no have and has. Okay. These two. Intelligent enough to too clever. No, wrong. To has to be like this. Intelligent enough. My room wasn't to sleep, so I turned the heating on. It's negative, right? So to, wrong. Okay, have enough warm. Have enough warm. Is it correct? Have enough. Okay, let's see. Warm enough, enough warm. Do we have and has? No. Do we have there and there? No. So enough never comes at the beginning. Enough is not a hero here. So enough comes after. So this one is at the beginning, wrong. This one is at the beginning, wrong. The correct answer, warm enough. My room wasn't warm enough to sleep, so I turned the heating on. Okay? Number 4. Number 7. Choose the correct sentence. Which one do you think is correct here? There isn't enough time to relax and have fun. There was too much work to do. These children haven't enough toys to play with. I didn't have papers enough. Look at here, everyone. Be with me. This one is kind of confusing. There isn't enough, it's correct. So because we have verb be, enough comes before, right? Enough time is correct. Noun, this is correct. To relaxed, this is problem. We said to plus base. To pays enough to base. So this one is a problem. There was too much work to do. There was too much. Work is noun, so we use too much or too many. Why is it too much? Because work is uncountable. So far it's good. Let's take a look at the others. These children haven't enough. Do we use haven't? We said we can use haven't got, but not haven't. Take this note. Okay? But we can say don't have. If those don't have, it would be correct. Wrong. I didn't have papers enough. Sorry. I didn't have papers enough to print. Papers enough? Since it's noun, enough comes here. Since we have and has, do you remember? Have and has or there, we said enough becomes hero, comes at the beginning. So here, enough is not at the beginning, and we have and has. That's also wrong. So the correct answer would be B. Okay, B is the correct answer. The last one, let's take a look. I want you to do it. Do the last one. Yes. Which one do you think is the correct answer here? They to see the Statue of Liberty when they were there. Be careful. Sometimes timing is very important. Timing. Sometimes it's not grammatical error or issue. The problem is with the time. Don't forget, it says they were when they were there, right? Okay, let's see. Which one do you think is correct here? Didn't had enough? Do we say didn't had? We say didn't have. Take notes, don't forget. Don't have enough time. Don't have enough time. This is correct. We said when we have and has, enough is hero, comes before. This one is correct. Let's see. Didn't have enough time. This is also correct. Why? Because we have enough is there at the beginning. This is also correct. Haven't enough, wrong. Haven't enough is wrong, right? These two are correct. C and B are correct, but you go back to time. We're there, that's past. So which one is past? Don't or didn't? Of course didn't. So the correct answer would be didn't, okay? This one. Yes. The correct answer didn't have enough time since we have past time. Okay? Let's see, let's do this one. Wait a minute. This is 2020. Let's do 2020 second trial, okay? Can you do it? Number 13. Can you do this? Number 13. It's nice to go out to the park, but we're there in time. Let's see which one do you think is correct. Yes. It's nice. Do we have there and have and has? We don't have any there and have and has. So enough at the beginning is wrong. Let's see if we have enough at the beginning. Enough, wrong. It's at the beginning. We have and has, right? Don't have enough petrol to arrive. Let's see. Wait. We have some. Don't have petrol enough. We have and has enough, wrong. Because we said when we have and has, enough has to be like this. Aren't enough petrol to arrive. We aren't enough petrol to arrive. How? This one do you think is correct? No. Why do you think is wrong? Aren't enough? No, we should say don't have enough petrol. So wrong. Have too many petrol to arrive. Petrol is uncountable. Do we say too many? No. That's also wrong. So which one is the correct answer? We said this one is wrong. B is the correct answer. Okay? Number 14, this is from 2020. Which one do you think is correct here? Number 14, the football field in it later. Which one do you think is correct? A or B or C or D? Yes, which one do you think is correct? Let's see. The football field isn't dry enough to play. Is enough wet? Do we use enough with positive? No, we don't use it. Is too wet to play? Let's see. Is too wet to play? What about playing? Why not play? This one is correct. This one is correct. Now you go back to the meaning. The football field isn't dry enough isn't dry enough or it's too wet to play. Which one is correct? Both of them are correctly ordered. Both of them has a correct meaning. So the correct answer would be this one. Why? Because it could be enough and it has a negative meaning. Why not play? And since it's adjective, enough comes here. And it could be also positive here. So B, A and B would be correct. All right. We have another thing when it comes to enough. We have another section when it comes to enough and to. And that is how to change and replace enough to to or to enough. It's very easy. To change to enough, or we need the following steps. The steps are easy. The first step, look at here. We change from positive to negative. So if it's two is positive, you change it to negative. This is the first step, don't forget it. The second step, which we use opposite adjective, opposite. Okay, if it's tall, we say short. Okay, if it's like big, we say small. Okay, if safe, we say dangerous. So learning the opposites also is very important in this case. And we replace to with enough or vice versa. Okay, don't forget it. We have one example here. Sorry. The book is too long to read. Okay, let's not take a look here. The book is too long to read. To change it to negative, we use isn't. This is number one. We change this one to isn't. This is number one. Number two, if you remember, we said change this to enough. Long becomes either short. Yes, the book isn't short enough to read. Okay, it's like this. The book isn't short enough to read. Okay, let's take a look. The book is too tall to read. The book isn't short enough to read. And by the way, it has the same meaning. Okay? Sorry. All right, what about this one? He is too short to play basketball. Now you do it on a piece of paper or do it orally. He isn't. What's the opposite of short? Tall or long, right? Since it's a person, we say tall. So he isn't tall enough to play basketball. All right? This is how we do it. Let's do one other example here together. This time I would like you to do it, okay? For example, she is too young to drive. Now change this one to enough. Change it to enough. She's too young to drive. The first thing we say, she isn't. We change it to negative. This is the first thing. The second thing, we change enough. We change to enough. We say enough, right? The third thing, we change this one to the opposite. What's the opposite of young? He's old, right? We say old. She isn't old enough. Old enough to drive. Is this correct? Wait, it's not. Old is adjective. Enough, okay. Adjective starts with A. We said A comes first. So you have to do another change. She isn't old enough. Not enough old. Short enough. Not enough short. Tall enough. Okay? So enough goes after adjective. Alright? Alright, dear students, we have come to the end of today's lesson. I hope this one shed light on for you to understand better and also to master this piece of grammar, which students find it confusing sometimes. And you can watch one more time again if you haven't understood thoroughly, and take notes, and also stay tuned. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much.
لاس گروپی لاس بۆ فۆتۆکۆپی و پەراوگا لە خزمەتی قوتابیانی خۆشەویستدایە بۆ ئەوەی لە وەرزی نوێی خوێندن ماندوو نەبن ئێمە هەموو پێداویستەکانی قوتابخانەمان بۆ بەردەست کردوون بە بەرزترین کوالێتی و باشترین مەواد لای ئێمە هەموو جۆرە مەلزەمەیەک بە کوالێتێکی بەرز و جوانترین شێواز دەست دەکەوێت هەروەها هەموو پێداویستەکانی قوتابخانە بە هەرزانترین نرخ دەست دەکەوێت لە فۆتۆکۆپی لاس چاپکردنی کتێب و بزنس کارت و وەسڵ بە کەمترین ماوە و جوانترین شێوە هەروەها چاپکردنی فلێکس و لەزگە و تابلۆ و چاپکردنی نووسین لەسەر کوپ و تیشێرت بە بەرزترین کوالێتی